Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Nintendo Rewind. My name's Cody Christian, and I'm joined by my co-host Chris Becker up there in the snowy north of Mario Kart Merry Mountain yet again. We're rewinding and recapping last week for Nintendo. But before we dive in, Christopher, how is it going, my friend?
You know, I thought you'd never ask.
That's all I ever do. I make sure that I ask my friends how they're doing.
Well, okay, that's true. Good point.
And I wish you to have a good day too.
Okay, thanks. Listen, call me crazy if you want to, but
crush me in the frozen section.
Listen, I don't know what happened. Yeah, I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing really good. Listen, I am so tired. I've been doing so much stuff here lately. I know I just covered my entire face and tried to scream into the mic, but I am genuinely doing good. I've just been really busy on this stream train. So last week I talked about it. I started doing a partner push over on my channel, Nerdwire Plays, twitch.tv/Nerdwire Plays if you want to go follow and go watch. So that way you can help me get to partner before the end of the year. But I feel like Monday through Friday, especially Tuesdays are so hard to like actually do anything and get through anything because like so I get up, I get the kids through school, I get them through their chores if I can. Today was like misery day. Lando was like, it's not happening. We're just not going to do chores today. And I'm like, man, like, can you just please do them? And he's like, nah, I'm not gonna. And I'm like, please. But that being said, I get through all of that. As soon as I'm done with all of that, finally, 5 o'clock rolls around. I'm live on my channel. I go live on there for like 4 hours, and then I try to get off as quickly as I can to be able to jump in a call with you to talk about the prep. And throughout the day today, as I had time, I was working on thumbnails, show planning, getting the Nintendo Fast Forward segment updating the Nintendo News Tracker, which, by the way, I hope people actually look and read that down below there. But because there's a lot of really cool stuff that we don't actually get to talk about in the show. Otherwise, we'd end up having like a 3-hour podcast, and nobody wants that. But doing all that throughout the day, jump on my stream at 5, stream till 9, jump off, get on the call with you. I hope that we have enough time to go through everything that we need to talk about and then do the actual show. And by the time that's done, I'm like, I just want to go to sleep. And then I get up and I do it all over again tomorrow. Except I don't have to prep the Nintendo Rewind. I just have to go live on my own channel. So like that does kind of ease the growing pains just a little bit. But beyond that, I'm just really tired. I know I'm complaining. I know it's like, this dude's out here playing video games on the internet. Like, how bad can it be? But my gosh, like actually putting some effort into the production quality of what I'm doing, that's hard. That's the hard part of it. How was your week?
Thanks. I thought you'd never ask. Couple of things. One, I forgot the tickers down at the bottom. 2,
that's okay. Most people do. They should probably look down there. If you're watching us on video form, there's a lot of news that happens down there that you don't get to see.
2, I've already forgot about the ticker again. 3, I would say my
efforts are wasted. I see how it is. My efforts are wasted. There's no point in continuing on anymore.
3, I'll look at the ticker later. Clearly I forget the ticker's there because I'll mention something and you'll be like, yeah, it's on the ticker.
Yeah. I made sure to include it. I'm prepped. I'm prepared. You don't know what's in the ticker though, because I don't put it in the show script. I only put it on a notepad document on my PC that OBS reads. OBS is the broadcasting software we use here. OBS reads and then just automatically puts it on the screen scrolling for me.
Right, yeah, exactly. That's why, like, I even have a tab open right now. This tells you how much I'm not in the know about what shenanigans you're adding to the list, because I have Moonlighter, the store page for Moonlighter open, because it is on sale for $2.49, and that's a really good deal.
Yeah, Moonlighter, Children of Morta, and another thing that's all sales items that are going on right now that you can like go and get 95% off all the way through. I think I have the date on the it's in the ticker. Like that it's a 11 Byte Studios or something like that is
11-bit, yeah. But in terms of Children of Morta, like Children of Morta and Moonlighter both have demos. I would say play them there, but if you can play Children of Morta on Steam, play it there because that actually they have online multiplayer on Steam, which I guess they said they might not be able to add to the Switch.
I have feelings about that. Like, first off, why even bring your game over if you can't bring over the full experience? Why can't we have multiplayer? What did we do as Switch gamers to deserve that kind of treatment?
We have local multiplayer, which is what they had. They added a patch that added multiplayer, but the infrastructure for the Wii, they said, doesn't make way for them to update the game to put the online multiplayer in the Switch version. But I will say the developer of don't make that face
what face? Sorry, I'm trying to clear it off of my face. This is how I look, Chris.
Yeah. You know, I say that to your sister too. I'll be like, why are you making that face? And she'll be like, what are you talking about? It's just my face. Like, knock it off. Both the Christians getting on my nerves.
11-bit studio sales ongoing, active until February 3rd.
Exactly. Yes. And then shout out to the ticker. And then the developer of Moonlighter is making Moonlighter 2. And they said that's what they said. They said Moonlighter did so well on the Switch. I just want to let everyone know Moonlighter 2 is coming to the Switch too.
With multiplayer.
Well,
we'll see.
That's different than Children of Morta. It's a different developer.
That's fine. It's totally fine. I'm not holding it against them, but I am holding it a little bit against them. Like, figure it out. The Switch isn't that hard to figure out, clearly. Like, we've got 2 emulators for it that are there in existence. I'm not advocating for it. I'm just saying that it exists. It can't be that hard to figure out how to put multiplayer on this thing. Come on now.
Yes, Switch is local only. Listen. I don't know what you want me to tell you.
I want you to get on the horn with those people and tell them to fix it.
I'll shoot them an email and see what they say.
Ask them why, and if they want to come on the show and explain their mistake.
They don't want to do that. So,
11-bit Studios, whoever that developer is for that one, can you put them in touch with us to tell us why they can't fix it?
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you this much. Children of Morta, the online multiplayer came to Steam in 2022. So if they would have done it, I'm sure it would have been here. They ended up making what's the name of the other game that they made that came out recently? Wizard of Legend 2. Have you heard of that one?
I need to go and see an image before. Is it 11-bit Studios game?
No. It's a Humble Games published it.
Wizard of Legend 2.
It's still in early access on Steam, but it's got online multiplayer.
This looks like Hades. Is it Hades-like? It reminds me of Hades when I look at it.
It's probably similar.
I'm not showing anybody on stream. You guys can look it up too. I'm just looking at it myself.
Yeah, this makes for great for audio content.
It does. That's why I'm not showing anybody. I'm telling the audio listeners it doesn't do you any good to come look at this because I'm not going to show it. I refuse.
All right. Well, then don't show it. So, but listen. You know, you give those developers a hard time. They're just trying to make a living. But you know who don't give a hard time to?
I can think of some people. Yeah, I want to give a hard time to our supporters. You want to do the thank yous today? Let's let you do it. You say the thank yous.
Listen, you don't want me to say thank you. Listen, here's what I'll say. This podcast is made possible thanks to supporters like Shiny Bird, Calamity Nolan, and even bozos like Sierra Christian. And the okay, so this is why you don't let me do this.
No, come on. Go on. It's too good.
You too can be a supporter over at NintendoRewind.com. Is that what it is?
Yes, that's our website. The name of our show.
I'm
we
just
got it
thrown
all.
off that Josh is a picture of Josh is on the thank you. R.I.P. Josh.
Yep, R.I.P. Josh.
But yeah, we got different tiers, okay? And then with some of those tiers, you can get discounts on merchandise that you get. All those shout out to the Nintendo Rewind hoodies. Do we have hoodies?
I think we do. We definitely have crew neck sweatshirts for sure. We definitely have
Okay,
crew neck
well,
sweatshirts.
Please.
Hang on, Hey, actually, you know what? That is something I will show. I don't know if I've ever shown our merch off on stream. I think I've talked about it, and that's pretty much it. Let's go. I'll pull it up. Hang on. Here we go. You can keep
Give it a
telling the people
gander.
about the things. We have a.
I'll
we
tell
have
you
this
one thing.
awesome
It's
acid wash, vintage wash dad hat. We have a premium cotton tee. We have this Nintendo Rewind icon
please
tie dye
don't say
tee.
that word. Thank you.
What?
The
Cotton
C
tee?
word. I don't like the C word.
Cotton?
Makes me gag. Yeah.
We have the Denim Days Nintendo Rewind bucket hat, Rewind can-shaped glass, Rewind icon enamel mug, a tank top, which is the opposite of a sweatshirt. And
Who's
then
that man in the shirt?
I don't know. I
Oh.
didn't hire him. He's just
You
like
hired him?
no, he's CGI'd in. It's fine. And then we got the Nintendo Rewind icon
CGI'd?
sticker. I don't know. I don't know. But you can go buy these things, and they're properly priced and appropriately priced. They're valuably priced. Honestly, this is some darn good merch. We have good merch. Just
Does
go
that
buy
say
it.
$350 for a sticker?
$3.49, my
Wow.
friend. Although I should charge $350. It does have our logo on it. Come on now.
That's true. It does.
I don't know what the opening is of this entire episode, but it sure is something, isn't it, man?
It sure is. You could say that about every episode. But listen, we got a topic to talk about.
Guys, welcome in. We have absolute banger news. If you guys saw the Go Live notification earlier tonight, whenever you guys clicked on that Go Live notification saying, hey, come watch Nintendo Rewind, we literally said, Switch, not another Switch 2 rumor episode, because we don't have rumors. We have nothing but actual video, proof, and speculation. And joining me tonight is, of course, the beautiful, the lovely, the talented Chris Becker coming in here to tell us a little bit about some of the things that Nintendo is going to be doing regarding the Nintendo Switch 2. And really, we just kind of wanted to take a moment because I know if you guys have popped into any of our streams recently, Chris was live the day they did the announcement. I was live the day they did the announcement. We were both on kind of separate ends of the spectrum. And I really wanted to take some time to kind of sit with my feelings and think a little bit about how I felt about the Nintendo Switch 2 reveal. Because coming off of it,
Hold on a minute, please.
Mhm.
Let's not lie to the people, okay?
Okay.
What did you say to me when you said hogwash?
I didn't say hogwash.
Nintendo.
I didn't say any of that.
Let's start the Xbox show.
What did I say to you the
We
day
really
they did the
should
release?
if we do an Xbox Rewind, we could do that, before they became a third-party company. But
Hang on. I'll tell you exactly what I said.
you
So
said it was trash. You
Chris-
did say it was trash.
Chris sends me the trailer in our DMs, the teaser, the first look trailer. Then mentions what's going on with the direct. Then sends the render, the like sales render that they have, and something about the Joy-Con straps, and then Mario Kart starting line with 24 slots. We'll get to that. I don't want to burn too much.
Yeah.
I eventually responded back to him about half an hour later. Yeah, it was about a half an hour later, and I said, I am beyond glazed on this. It was exactly what I didn't want.
Wait,
Just
don't
what
say
we
that. I
know
think
from the
glazed means
leaks.
something different than you think.
No, I'm glazed. Just what we know from the leaks and a peek at Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Ultra Booster Course Pass 1. That bezel is ugly. The rest of the console is pretty slick, though. In April, to wait for a follow-up to this, we're not getting this console in April. Anyway, that was what I said back to him. But I do want to take some time to kind of talk a little bit about. I did not say it was trash. I was just hating, and I was so disappointed because, like, you know what? We'll get there. We're burning podcast already, but let me kind of take a moment and kind of drive through this this Nintendo Switch first look trailer, okay? Because I needed some time to sit with my feelings because I was upset at the leakers telling me everything. Chris, why did you send me that Urban Dictionary definition? It's on my screen. Anyway.
Don't show your screen right now. I'll tell you what, this is why you don't say words if you don't know what they mean.
I was glazed, man. But anyway, we're going to take a moment and work our way through this trailer just a little bit.
Okay, let's do that.
We're doing
You want to just watch it and talk over it as it happens?
Yeah, we can do that. We can do that a little bit.
Okay, so I like how they show like the size difference.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about you. Are you a fan of the size difference?
I am. Honestly, like, this brings it more in line with what we've been seeing out of like a lot of modern day handheld PCs. Significantly larger screen. I would argue that this thing is still going to be sleeker than like a Steam Deck.
Yeah, it doesn't look as bulky as the Steam Deck, but the Joy-Con look like they're going to be bigger and nicer to hold in the hand rather than like small little, Dixie cups or whatever.
Yep, those Joy-Con are huge, Chris. They're so massive compared to the other ones.
Yeah. How do you feel about the color where it's like black with like a little bit of hint of color?
I prefer that as the man who pre-ordered the gray system.
Yeah, we found the one guy that pre-ordered the gray.
Yes. And then you get a good look at the Joy-Con straps. A lot of people were like, "Oh, it's wired." Like, initial response to that every time was, "Oh, look, it's a wired mouse." But no, like, those are just straps. I dig how those inset into the Switch. I really do.
Yeah, they gotta have that snap noise,
Mm-hmm. It sounds like a clap a lot more than a snap. Like, it sounds like a clap now. Kind of the way that you are putting them in there. And then you get this. This is the most insane part of this entire trailer, is the fact that we get a look at, like, a very, very fast look at a new Mario Kart game. Coming as a launch title. Yes, it is like a DK clap. 2025 though. And then
random 2025.
Yep. And then into this, you get to see Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive games coming, and then they make the announcement of the 4/2/2025 Direct that they're going to do as a follow-up, along with some hands-on events. Now, I feel like we kind of need to take this a little slower through this because it just blasted by. Overall thoughts and impressions before I start playing this one more time. How did you feel about it, Chris? Because I've told everybody my initial knee-jerk reaction. I want to hear how you felt about it immediately.
Originally, I thought this just is, they showed us everything that we've already known from the leaks. But I also, I sat there, I watched it, and then it was over. And then I was like, oh, let me watch it one more time. And then I watched it 2 more times after that. I was like, let me watch it one more time. And then I went back and I watched the Switch 1 reveal.
Mm-hmm.
And it just, this, quote unquote reveal compared to the Switch 1 reveal, to me, it just tells me where Nintendo feels like they are compared to where they felt like they were when the Switch 1 reveal came, where they showed a lot more about it. Here, they're like, listen, you already know about this. You guys love the Switch. You know about the Switch 2. It's going to be a more powerful Switch. The one thing I wish they didn't do is just show us Mario Kart in a random desert level. Because when I first saw it, I thought that they just showed a game that looked like it could be, especially if, like, we'll talk about the rumors and things, I'm sure, as well. But if this is
this is a non-rumor episode. We're not talking about any rumors. Speculation. There's a big difference.
If this does end up having like more powerful games, I understand why they would show off Mario Kart, because it's going to be the best-selling game on the entire system.
Game, I mean, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is nearly every single Switch that has been sold has a copy of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe that goes along with it. I mean, the ratio is insane. Bonkers how much money they've made off of that title alone on the Nintendo Switch console generation.
Right. Yeah, it's kind of wild.
Because I don't know that any other Mario Kart has ever sold that well. Ever. Like Mario Kart Wii for the Wii? No. Like, that game did not sell near as well. Mario Kart 64 might have been close on ratio per system. I would argue that a lot of people probably had Mario Kart 64. But the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe for Nintendo Switch, crazy. Crazy numbers.
Yeah. What was it? Mario Kart Wii. It was would have been the number one best-selling game if it weren't for
Nintendo Switch Sports. Oh my god, I almost said Nintendo Switch Sports on the Wii.
Please, let's dial it down. Yeah.
Wii Sports. But the thing is like Wii Sports was bundled with it, so it was almost like, hey, that's like, yeah, you're definitely getting that one. Like, and so it was unfortunate that it didn't do as hot as Wii Sports, but it's still like Mario Kart for the Wii was still not like. The ratio was not near as good still yet, even to this day, and it was one of the best selling.
Right, but I mean, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is bundled 3 months every year since the system came out, pretty much
every Christmas, starting in October.
Yeah, so for like 2 to 3 months, that is sold with the system. So that really definitely helps with purchases. Yeah. Plus, I feel like people that are buying the games or buying like a Switch Lite for like a family member, they're just getting them a copy of that game too.
Yeah. I mean, I would 100% agree with you. It's a nice, safe title. When I worked at GameStop, because they always like... Some of the things that we were taught as far as how we sell a system is, hey, make 5 recommendations on video games, make 5 recommendations on accessories, and then make the recommendation on the system warranty. And like my 5 go-to games was straight up, it was Mario Kart, it was Super Smash Bros, it was Super Mario Odyssey, it was Splatoon, and then Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Like, those were my go-to games to say, those are the games that if you want to experience the Nintendo Switch the way that it should be experienced, those are the 5 that you buy. And I still stand by that. I think those are probably the 5 most varied, best experiences that you can have, because you have a party game, you have a serious skill game, you have an adventure game that's very kid friendly, you have a shooter game that's competitive, and then you have an adventure game that an adult can actually like genuinely get into and love. And that was why I selected those 5. And then after Animal Crossing came out, I swapped that out for Splatoon, I think, for a long time there. But like it's absolutely like an amazing choice for first game to show off. But you mentioned something there that, like, I'm with you. We talked about this last week on last week's episode, where it was like, hey,
what we want to see.
Yeah, But we talked about the Switch 1 teaser. That Switch 1 teaser was 3.5 minutes long. This one was 2.5 minutes long. But that Switch 1 teaser had so much that they showed. I mean, it was a half dozen games. It was accessories. You had a Pro controller that you showed off. It confirmed Amiibo support just by having them in it. Like, it showed off every feature of it in a more direct way. Like, hey, I can dock this. Hey, I can remove these Joy-Cons. I can pass and play. Hey, I can take this and dock this at a convention center and use a Pro controller. This is the kind of gameplay that you can expect. And they actually showed something. And Mel in the live chat there, because they were losers at that time, so yeah, they showed stuff. Winners can hold stuff. She's not wrong. She's not wrong, but it did disappoint me that literally all we got was everything I said I didn't want, which was, hey, we're going to get some renders of the console, and then that's it. Pretty much everything that the leakers had already showed me. And this is why I needed some time to kind of sit with my thoughts and my feelings, because one of the things that we didn't, I don't know if I mentioned this last week. I feel like I might have. But one of Nintendo's straight up slogans internally is surprise and delight, right? Well, I'm still delighted. I don't know that I'm necessarily surprised. And the only thing that they had that they could like truly surprise me with was going up into Thursday, whether or not we were actually going to see this trailer for sure or not. And that was the one thing they held close to their chest, because Wednesday night, we didn't get the, hey, watch out for the trailer tomorrow morning normal tweet that you see. We didn't get the, hey, we're going to do a live presentation at 9 a.m. Pacific time, right, showing the first look at the Nintendo Switch 2. And that is the surprising part. There were a lot of people that were starting to lose hope and doubt, and it was like, oh man, Nintendo's not doing their typical thing. Maybe we're not going to see it. And they still had that level of surprise that they could lock up and that they could let out. And I think that changed things significantly for the perception of it, because I was still pretty surprised that it came out, even though I was holding strong that we were going to be seeing it. Mel says if they gave the tweet for that, there would have been a bigger pushback. And that's the other side of it, is they did not, I think they purposely did not tweet about it, because if they had tweeted about it and then they did that teaser the next morning, I think people would have felt even worse about it and went, there was absolutely nothing new shown. Why even bother with the tweet? Instead, they didn't make a big deal about it. They put it out there and they let that trailer speak for itself and let the console speak for itself, rather than everything that the console can do and all the games that are coming to it.
Right, exactly. Yeah. I agree. I think the exact same thing that you just said, where, yeah, if they would have announced that the day before, people would have been even more annoyed. Which I feel like people that are annoyed right now, it's like people that are glazed, just a bunch of people that are glazed up, talking about how they're annoyed that they didn't show more when they really don't need to. They're like, listen, we announced it.
Yep.
We're showing you more games March 2nd. Of course, when they were like, we're going to talk about it before the end of the fiscal year, I thought for sure they were going to say more than this, because I don't think Nintendo's talking about it again until
April.
Until April, yeah.
March 31st, when they say join us April 2nd for our Nintendo Switch 2 software showcase, or whatever they're going to call it.
Direct. Nintendo Switch 2 Nintendo Direct is what it's called.
Yep. I'm with you. I think we're not going to hear another peep from them for a while. But the people that I'm mad at more than anything, and like, yeah, was I disappointed we didn't get like a half a dozen games in this trailer? Yeah, I want to see more of the cool new stuff, because like I said last week, a console's great, but it's only made up by its software that you can play on it. Like, I desperately do want to see more software, but does that make this a bad teaser trailer? No, not by any shot of the imagination. If I had stayed, and unfortunately, the nature of our show is that we have to keep up with the rumors and we have to keep up with the news and we have to report on it. Otherwise, we're totally out of the loop, and like we have to keep up with the content cycle, right? So that's the nature of our show. But if I had been able to just kind of shut my brain off and not think about it, would I have been as stoked about this if I had not seen any of those leaks? I think I would have been even more surprised and over the moon about it. And I think that on its own merit, this trailer should probably stand on its own two legs pretty effectively.
Yeah, I agree. I like the trailer. I liked what they showed. I like, especially because the one thing is nice that they got rid of a bunch of the rumors by basically confirming them. You know, when you see that controller dock like going right into the strap that basically puts the flat surface around it for using it like a mouse, you know?
Speaking of, let's kind of take a look through this trailer as slowly as we can, and really kind of deep dive on some of the things that we want to highlight there, because you're already kind of
period. Don't forget comma and period.
Comma and period. Let's do it. We're gonna kind of take our time through this, but like this is the first like real transition to show the sizing, and I don't know that doing the screen really communicated it for me. It was seeing the Joy-Cons really explode in size that really like solidified for me. This is a lot bigger of a console.
Well, yeah, that screen too. Like
the screen is big. Don't get me wrong, but it didn't solidify for me until I saw the size of the Joy-Cons, because it's all just a black surface. It's really hard from a perspective standpoint to tell.
Right. But then also at the end of the trailer, when they show like the Switch games, when they show Mario Wonder being played on both the Switch and then the Switch 2, you can tell. I'm sure somebody's already photoshopped them one on top of the other, and you can kind of look and see just how much bigger it is.
Absolutely. But they do a good job here. It's a little bit weird because this teaser trailer was extremely quiet the entire time. You had like this like nondescript music that they threw in here. It wasn't like super hype by any means, and they're kind of showing off, well, here's the IO for the system. You've got your USB on the bottom and your grill vents, which honestly are massive compared to what we have on the Nintendo Switch 1. And then it goes a little bit deeper into your power, your volume. You have some more vents up here, and then they really focus in on this secondary USB-C port, which, again, speculating, you sent earlier this week. What was it you sent?
Yeah, well, so in 2021, Nintendo put out a patent, and so the image I showed you was a picture of the patent, but then they just took the Switch. So on the image of the patent, it doesn't actually have the Switch at the bottom that I showed you. It matches the top one, and it's basically just shows you that they're using the top USB to add a second screen onto the Switch. Too.
Which would be really cool. I would really, really, really like that. I really wanted that to happen. And they kind of experimented with second screen stuff with like stuff like Super Mario Party, where they put the two Switches together. That wasn't quite the same thing, right? Like that was a totally different experience.
Right. And then I think there was also one game on Clubhouse Games, I think, like the tank game.
There was.
You could like put two systems together, and then they would just kind of move back and forth between them, which was pretty cool.
there is something I want to highlight here because the kickstand, I mean, while it is notable, there is one piece back here that I wanted to highlight.
Oh yeah.
That is near microscopic, and I don't know if it's going to translate well on here for many of you guys. I'm going to try to get to the best possible frame to show this off. Hello. Please fast forward just a little bit more.
Hello.
Just fast forward just a little bit more. And it is this. I don't know if you guys can see my mouse. It's moving right over here, and I'm going to take my mouse and I'm going to put it right here. And if you guys get to like the 37-second mark in this teaser, there's a tiny little slit that's right beside of the game cartridge slot on the top of the console. I'm just going to personally theorize that is a microphone. And I told Chris this beforehand, and he said, so what, you're only going to be able to play Nintendogs handheld? And I'm like, yeah, maybe. But that being said, like, I think this is a microphone, along with the IO blocking that if it's a mic. Listen, how are you going to take care of your Nintendogs, Mel? How are you going to take care of your Nintendogs?
Yeah, Mel, please. You have dogs to take care of.
Yeah, right.
And if it has multiplayer, you have to walk my dog when I am sleeping. You know, it's just what you have to do.
I do find it really interesting that it wasn't a big focus in this, but I legitimately do think that is a microphone. I don't know how convinced you are of it, Chris, but that's what I think, because the current Nintendo Switch does not have that extra slit beside of the game card slot. And
well, it looks like a hole. I wouldn't call it a slit. What?
It's like a line hole. It's like
it's not a line hole. Please, with the words you're using.
It's a line. Look at this line. It's not like just a circle. It's a slit.
Sir.
Why are you being so quiet? I heard crickets the moment I said that out loud.
Yeah, as you should.
Shame on me.
Yeah, please. I think.
They're hot slits in our area, and they're coming on the Switch too.
Oh gosh.
Oh man, but no, like I legitimately do think that is going to be a microphone port, nothing you're going to plug into it, but it is going to be you are going to be able to interact with the vocal elements of games from that. I'm not a big fan of the kickstand. I'm going to be honest. How do you feel about it?
I am not a big fan of it. I mean,
I like the current one. The current one, the way that like you can just kind of, it's a solid piece, and it looks like it feels more solid that way. But this is more just like this is the OLED one. The original one sucks. The OLED one I really like. This one reminds me of a blending of the OLED one meets the original one, and I don't like how thin all that metal is going to be there.
I can count on like one hand how many times I used the kickstand. I don't use the kickstand. Do you use it?
Not now, but when I went to work, yeah, I would use it. I would take my Joy-Con off, set it on the desk at work, and then play on the desk that way. What? Yeah, no, that's so judgy, dude.
No, I'm just trying to think. I agree, because I wouldn't use the kickstand more, but when I was working out of the house, I would take my Switch with me, and then played it. Like I played it a lot more in handheld than I do now, where I just have it docked at the desk.
Right. All in all, not a big fan of the kickstand then, right? Is that what you're telling me? At all? Yeah. Like you could take it or leave it, to be completely honest.
Yeah, I'm worried, like, based on like how flat it goes, like it's just gonna get broken.
I mean, it goes pretty dang flat. They kind of show how far back the articulation is on that. Right here, is that the furthest it goes? Yeah, this is the furthest it goes.
Yeah. Pretty flexible. I've seen.
Actually, I'm still going.
My talking.
It's still going. That is going to make it a lot easier to charge and have it on a kickstand portion. I will say that much. If that top USB port does not also take charge.
That's what I want to know. What all does the top one do? Because I would like it if it charged.
Mm-hmm.
I know some people use USB-C for their headphones.
Yeah.
Now because of the world we live in with the phone manufacturers and nobody wanting to put that phone jack in there, the headphone jack.
This is the moment that I was most excited for. Out of this, the transition of size comparison.
When it went from nice colorful colors to just.
I mean, look at the size comparison of that Joy-Con to the other one. Like, it is massive. A massive difference. And it's way easier to tell that it's a massive difference than having the Joy-Con next to the screen. And I don't know why. Lame Sega Black. Oh, no. Hang on. Wait for it, Keywork Savior. Because they do have the accents that they start filling in, which I really like. This is more of a muted red than a neon red that we've gotten used to with Nintendo Switch's generation. How do you feel about the accents?
Peach or pink?
Yeah, it's like a peachy red. How do you feel about the color accents?
It looks like a 184 on the color. What do you think?
Yeah.
184, you think of like 184, 180, maybe even 183.
What are you talking about? What numbers are you talking about? Colors or numbers?
You know, the Pantone colors.
Oh,
you know
okay, I got you. I was so lost. I was like, yeah, sure. I was agreeing with it.
I forgot. Yeah, because I worked with Pantone colors a lot. So yeah,
there's a lot to kind of cover here.
There it is, right there. Oh,
I'm coming back. I'm going backwards a little bit. There's a lot to cover here too that I think is important. So we had talked about the smooth glide pads that they had on the bottoms. These are
before that we even talked about the four dots on the front.
Yeah, being front facing instead of being
opposed to
middle.
being on the side. Yeah.
That's orange. I'm totally fine with it if it's orange, but this is not an orange that I necessarily like, Mel.
It looks like a peach to me.
Yeah, it's more pinky.
Which I
more
guess
pinky
you could
than orange.
say peach is orange.
But then they go into they show off. You can see the optical port that we had talked about. You thought it was just the same colors as the Neon Switch Remote Play Gaming. Unfortunately, this is like a significantly toned down, more muted red, and the blue seems very similar. The blue does seem very similar, but the red is significantly more toned down. But we had mentioned that the optical port being a thing, and then it's pretty obvious based on what they do here. This is how the Joy-Con strap, it kind of clips around all of it there. You can see at the very top, not on this shot, I don't believe. No, not on this shot. It's on the next shot. You can see at the very top how you release the Joy-Con strap. Here it is. The button at the top that releases it from its Joy-Con mortal shell.
Yeah.
It's also shaped significantly different, but it's there, I think, to provide a little bit more of another protection for that smooth glide to be able to use it like an actual mouse. It's so crazy to see them just gliding these thin, quote unquote, mice along. Couple of other things that you see on the back side of them here. You get the view of the release button, which is the release button for them to come off of the actual console right here. Just do it on Friday for that $1 Friday deal.
Yeah, the release button. And then I think on the Japanese website, they even show a video of you pushing that button and to release the magnets.
Mm-hmm. Which basically what that does, I think all it does is gives it just that little force. The peg that they have here between the smooth glide surface, that peg extends based on the Genki model. That was how they would do it, is it extends and puts pressure against the inner wall of that Nintendo Switch. So that way it can release the magnet from the inside of that. Um, but then you get that view of here. I honestly really, really, really like the way they color coded the inside of the Switch. But the problem is, and here's my only problem with it, is that
Let's hear.
what I mean, I know you're covering it up, but when you buy alternate color Joy-Con, like the inside is not going to match up to the Joy-Con that you're jamming onto it.
Right.
So-
Like when they sell new systems, are they just going to come with whatever the inside is of that Joy-Con?
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
that's pretty much what you were going to be seeing. To be completely honest, I think it's going to be that.
I want banana yellow. I want 2 banana yellow Joy-Con.
Dude, I am a big fan of yellow consoles, mainly because I loved the yellow Game Boy
Sorry,
Pocket.
Mel
It was really
hates
good.
yellow. Yeah.
Yellow consoles were great. Yellow Game Boy Color was awesome. Like, come on now.
Well, it's Mel's.
The yellow
own-
Nintendo
it's
Switch
her
Lite
own
was
doing.
good.
I'm not going to tell the story because it's her story to tell, but it's all Mel's fault why she doesn't like yellow. I'll
Mm.
just leave it at that.
I'll just blame Mel. And then you get into some sizzle reel shots of the console here as well. Some branding information right there on the bottom. The kickstand is a nice zoom out. One thing I do want to point out here is that this button that we thought was a C button it's a nothing button. Like, it doesn't have any kind of numbering, lettering, emblazoning on it whatsoever. There's a lot of people theorizing that that is more of a trackpad style nub. But I don't.
No.
No, you don't think so? What do you think it's for then? Do you think it's actually a button instead of like, because the Legion, there's one of the handheld PCs that has a button that's just like that you
that's
kind
the
of rub
Legion
across
Go.
it.
It has that, and that's, I mean, so does the Steam Deck has that, but not that small. But
No, Steam Decks are like massive cubes.
yeah, I think they're gonna add the C in April when they show it. Like that'll be like the reveal of like the new feature of the system.
Oh, you
'Cause
think
I
they
think-
left it unbranded so no one could continue to speculate, even though we've known
Yeah.
about the C button the whole time due to leakers?
I think it'll be the C button, but they don't want to put the C there, so they put nothing there, and then the C will form in, and then they'll tell us what that word stands for and what it does.
I think you give them too much credit. I think it would be awesome if that was true, but I still stand by. I think you give them too much credit.
No.
Full look at the back of the console. Again, you're getting some I/O information.
You can see those buttons back there, the release buttons.
Yep. Really, really big release buttons too. I gotta be honest. Like I like that a
Yeah.
lot better than the Joy-Con. Current Joy-Con release button. It's so tiny. Like you literally have to use the tip of your pinky just to be able to touch it sometimes.
Right, but those rails sometimes
Oh, they're a
just
pain in the
slide
butt.
right off.
They're a pain in the butt.
Do you think? Okay, so right now the Switch, you know how like it knows what color? Are they going to keep that going?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And are they going to sell the other color of each of these, like the pinkish peach and blue? Are they going to sell the left pink and the right blue?
That was honestly, I do believe that because that's what happened to differentiate the actual console from the retail Joy-Con that you could get. Because when
It was opposite ones, right?
Yep.
They were separate. Yeah.
So if you bought the neon red and blue Joy-Con console, if you wanted neon red and blue Joy-Cons, they were opposite, and then you could mix and match them. And I had like all neon blue at one point. I had all neon red at one point. I still have
Yeah.
both sets of those Joy-Con. But I thought it was a really cool marketing strategy. But it did kind of infuriate me that I could never easily get the same color Joy-Con every single time. Like I had to buy
Oh yeah.
one pre-owned one and one new one just to be able to mix and match. Like, it was so
Right.
miserable.
In Japan, you could order
Mhm.
any color Joy-Con that you wanted. Like of the ones that they had, you could order the left one, the right one. You could order any color that they've ever sold. Oh,
Yep.
obviously not the Labo.
Yeah, the Labo
But
cardboard ones.
They
Those
didn't
aren't
sell
available.
those, but yeah.
Then we get into the first real reveal of the actual trailer. The only thing that we did not know anything about. There was a lot of speculation. There was a lot of leaks online as well regarding a game releasing with a 9 in its title. Everyone's assuming that it's Mario Kart 9. I called it Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Ultra to Chris. But I think unequivocally we can definitely agree that this is something that is significantly different than what we're going to be seeing. One of our YouTube commenters over there says, do you guys think they have a second color variant at launch like the Switch? Maybe the white like we've seen in leaks? I'd be down for a more colorful option. I can tell you, and we've talked about it on the show in the past, there are 3 SKUs that are launching for this. So I expect to see 3 different colorways at this point, now knowing what we've got coming.
3. So you think there will be 3 different ones?
Mm-hmm. I think there will be 3 colorways. I think you will see this standard all black, but I think we'll see some more colorful options right at launch.
I think you'll see all black. I think you'll see this one, and then I think the third one I could see it being like a GameStop exclusive bundle that comes with Mario Kart 10.
Mario Kart 9. Hang on, back up. It's not 10. We're gonna put 9 in this title.
Hello, sorry, yes, but Mario Kart Tour is 9, and this is
no
Mario
one
Kart
counts
10.
Mario Kart Tour. That's not even an official Mario Kart. Mario Kart Arcade GP is Mario Kart 9.
No, because Mario Kart team made Mario Kart Tour, not Mario Kart. They didn't make Mario Kart GP.
No, they didn't. That was Bandai.
They just Namco made that filth. I think Nintendo counts Tour as 9.
Then what is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe then? Is it just
That's
8
Deluxe
with
That's
more?
exactly what it is. It's just more 8. Yeah. And then Tour is 9.
Mel's saying wait for the title drop. I bet it's 9. Let's place our bets right now. Hang on. If you're watching over on Twitch right now, I'm going to start a poll in chat, and I'm going to ask the people what is going to be the number. And if you're on YouTube, pop it in there too.
I don't think it's going to have a number.
For Mario Kart. You don't think it's going to have a number? 9?
No, I don't think.
10?
I think it'll have a subtitle.
No number. All right. They've already said they've wanted to stay with a numbered. I'm gonna start that poll. Set it for 5.
Who said that?
What? The director of the series has said, we made a shift from giving them subtitles to numbers to bring them more in line with a better understanding of the progression of the franchise.
Yeah, he said that, and then they released Mario Kart Tour.
That one doesn't count.
It does count.
But anyway, before we get too deep into the neck of the woods, you really get a super... Laker 2020 says it's going to be called Mario Kart X. So I think they're on your side of 10. Remote Play Gaming says Mario Kart 8 D2. Deluxe 2. That's too good. I would be totally down for them to call it Mario Kart 8 Deluxe 2. But what you see here is the starting line for this new Mario Kart. And for the first time in the series, based on this, you pointed it out to me in a chat, Chris. 24 competitors based on the slots for what you've got going here.
Starting positions, yeah.
Yep. Do you think they eventually elevate it to Mario Kart 1099? Is that what we're gonna have? What if it is Mario Kart 99 and that's where the 9 in the title is for the launch title?
It's just Mario Kart 99.
Yes, but it's at the standard of like an actual modern day console game instead of being like F-Zero 99.
But it's not this game. It's Mario Kart for SNES or the one.
No, it is this game. It is this game, not the SNES version. That's what I'm trying to say. That'd be amazing. I'd be totally down with it. Dude, votes are split in the chat. It's 33% all the way across the board for 9, 10, and no number. But no, you see this cool little starting station. You see Luigi tires, and a lot of the advertising that you would normally see in a lot of these Mario Kart games. It does seem to have like 2 separate areas in this course with like those. You know how like the Mario Kart Tour courses will divert you off of a path that you've already been on by throwing up those holographic walls?
Yeah.
It looks like it has something like that too, because this road continues straight, but it wants you to turn right to go up this dirt path onto the right.
Right. So it could be one of those things where lap 1, you go right, lap 2, you go left.
Mm-hmm. Which I'd be totally down with. I'd be totally down with. Couple of things here. They do a fly in into the screen here to kind of show off some of the proportions that they've got going on here. A lot of people said, and I see where they're coming from. A lot of people said the characters look more chibi like in appearance, but I think it's a mix of two things. I think it's the characters do look more chibi like, but the cars are tiny. The carts that they're in, they're so small compared to the carts that we've seen in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Yeah, I can see that too. Plus, not only that, but then I think most of them all look pretty similar with the exception of Donkey Kong.
Yeah, there is
I feel like Donkey Kong looks the most different compared to the rest of the characters.
There are a couple of character changes that are very interesting. I will say Peach, she kind of has her like movie look in some ways. You can really see it in this image here. It's really hard to tell because I would have to zoom in pretty significantly, and YouTube's not going to let me do that right now. But a lot of these characters kind of reflect their overall Super Mario Bros. Movie look in a lot of ways, which is interesting. Bowser is rounder. Mario's face, his cheeks are chubbier. Luigi's a little more on the slender side. Here we go. This is a pretty good viewing angle of DK back there in some ways. But you see he has a lot more black around his eyes. There it is. There's that creepy DK look right there. Which, honestly, I'm a fan of. A little closer to the Super Mario Bros. Movie look, right?
I'll tell you what, though, if they have that look, I feel like if you're going to change his look, I think you change Diddy too.
Oh, yeah. 1,000%.
To match sort of like the same sort of aesthetic.
Bring him more in line with what that aesthetic actually is.
Yeah. Then we got an item right there.
Yep, we do. I need to back this up just a little bit because they show off the Yoshi's gas station. Laker 2020 also says double dash mode, 12 carts and a player in the back.
They changed Diddy by not including him.
Oh my gosh, they're never bringing him over to here. You know what?
No.
Who I think should make a comeback?
Who?
Donkey Kong Jr. He hasn't been in a Mario Kart game since the SNES.
He was in Mario Kart Tour.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one because no one counts that one. We got a lot of people saying
Mario
10.
Kart 9. He was in Mario Kart 9.
Got a lot of people saying 10 in the chat here. But you know, that being said, I'm really down for that. But you got the Yoshi's gas station here, and it looks like there is something right there in that area. Like if you were to pull over and go underneath that like hamburger style like drive-through area, it's not a gas station. I just realized that's not a gas station.
It's a burger place, and it looks like Yoshi. Burger place.
I just realized that's not a gas station. It is a burger place. I was going to make the theory that this was going to be like a pit stop area. So what if you have to gas up to be able to continue going?
Oh, yeah.
But now I realize that's not a gas station. That's probably just an easy place to try to drop and get an item.
Here's what I don't want. Really long Mario Kart courses so that I can lose in the last turn of the race. I don't want really long courses.
I want really long courses. I really do. I really do. I would love like 6-minute lap courses. Like give me a few of those. I want it. This it looks crazy big too. Like this kind of gives me in some ways that Breath of the Wild moment where it's like everything you could see you could go to. Do you think everything you can see you could drive to based on this? Like it looks like it's rendered like that, you know?
Like it's Forza Horizon.
Yes.
And you just drive.
Yes.
When I first saw this, and we saw this last few seconds where you're driving the oncoming traffic, I almost felt like it was just kind of like, I guess like Burnout Paradise 2. They do that where it's like you're driving around in this open world. The other carts are driving around too. And then you just kind of do it. But I feel like most people are all about Mario Kart multiplayer. So they want to play Mario Kart. They want to play multiplayer. Yeah, and like Mel said, it gives like Radiator Springs vibes.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely does give like the vibes of like a lived-in sort of
Yes.
space.
It doesn't feel as sterile as a lot of like the Mario Kart courses oftentimes do, where it's like,
Right.
okay, this is definitely like they've got a course and then they set dressed it. Like this is a world and they put Mario Kart into it, which I really like. And I'm with you on the Radiator Springs vibes. Like all I'm waiting for is for Rascal Flatts to be singing "Life is a Highway" while I'm like driving down through here.
Right.
But
Just swing by, Moo Moo Meadows.
yes. Like I really want to experience like this like cruising USA, driving across Mushroom Kingdom kind of vibe, and this gives me that. And I think that's really cool. I think that's
Also,
really cool.
At the same time, the previous 9 Mario Karts have
8
not
and Deluxe. I see. The previous 8 and Deluxe, then those 9 Mario Karts.
Of course, yes. The previous Mario Karts gave me no indication that they have any plan to do anything like that to reinvent the game. I
No.
feel like they don't even need to.
Mm-mm.
But
they do need a gimmick though, because every single one of them comes with a gimmick, right?
I think that was my biggest disappointment with this trailer is they didn't show the
gimmick.
Gimmick.
What if the gimmick is this? What if it's exactly what we're theorizing, that it is an interconnected, like you drive around Forza Horizon style Mario Kart? The gimmick is now you lose in 24th place.
Yeah, you gotta play and yeah.
Oh man,
they're gonna have you know how like they have a really like they got the gold Mario, the gold wheels, the gold cart for if you finish all the different stuff that you need to. What if you get 24th in every course and you unlock just like this beat up cart?
It's a jalopy. It's Mater.
Amazing.
It's the Mater mobile.
Yeah.
You unlock Mater from Cars. That's how you get to play in Mario Kart if you finish 24th every single time.
Would love it.
Remote Play Gaming over on YouTube says an open realm Mario Kart with adventure campaign would be such a good way to separate this from the definitive Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. How else do you move on from 96 courses? And that's the argument that I would like to make. And the only thing that I think Diddy Kong Racing ever did any better than Mario Kart 64 on is that it actually had a campaign. Like,
yeah,
I think Mario Kart could benefit from having a campaign and a story and making the world feel lived in, and it not just being an arcade thing that you throw in whenever you have friends over. Because while as much as and listen, you and I have mentioned it too, as much as we believe that game is best played with friends, and as many titles as has been sold in comparison to Nintendo Switches, very few people are driving around with the gold tires. Like, it is one of those things where I think incentivizing that kind of play to play, because they definitely have play stats. Like, they 100% have play stats. How much time is actually spent on this game across all users? All users who bought it. How do you increase that time spent? That's what you want. You want to keep them locked into the game instead of them just only loading it up when they have friends over? Like, go do this. Go do something like this. Give me an open world game. Remote Play Gaming's got it right. Emperor Gombessa says, open world Grand Theft Mario Kart. Become Shy Guy, Mug Baby Mario, still his motorized baby buggy.
I will say if they do that, the single player thing, I don't want, like, one thing they did with, like, they did it with, like, Splatoon. With when they released that DLC for Splatoon 2, the Octo expansion.
Yeah.
And you had to beat the Octo expansion in order to get the Octoling. And then you could play as an Octoling.
I thought that was so cool.
I wonder if they would do something like that for Mario Kart. Like, would they, like, oh, you beat the whole thing, or you do, all the challenges or whatever.
Like, instead of having all the racers unlocked at the beginning, in order to like use them in courses, you have to go find them in the world, race them, and beat them in a street race.
No, I don't think they're going to do that. I feel like with a game that is 24 players online,
Mm-hmm.
or not necessarily online.
We assume
I'm sure it will
online
be.
could be in person. Most likely won't
But
be.
24 player,
It'd be a crazy split screen.
that'd be wild. Yeah, but you get a 24 player match, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't want like 24 Marios while everyone is unlocking characters.
Oh, we're
But
talking roll
it
queue, huh?
Could be, but it definitely won't be roll queue. But
we need 2 heavies. We need
Yeah.
2 mediums, and we
my
need 2
heels.
smalls.
Hello. Yeah, we're waiting on.
You know,
Pauline
I
to
do
come
miss
up.
that in some ways, because that's what Double Dash did too, though. Like, where it was like, if you wanted triple shells,
yeah.
you're gonna have to pick one of the Koopas. Too bad you didn't pick one of the Koopas. You don't get triple shells.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh man, that was really cool. I actually liked that from Double Dash too. Like that was a near perfect Mario Kart in so many ways.
I will say one thing about it doesn't look like the closest we got to any sort of fancy kart. I think if you like go back and like zoom in on it, it's like Yoshi is like in an extended bike, and then right there, pause it. You
Yep.
can see what's her name's
Rosalina on a like
Rosalina's
snowmobile
tires.
kind of situation, like a snow tracker.
right.
It's got those tracks on the back, and then it has the skis on the front, which seems really ineffective on asphalt. But hey, who am I to
But
judge?
if all of a sudden the desert becomes water,
Yeah. Let me see. I'm trying to get up to the Yoshi on the. Oh yeah, it is a little bit more. It looks like a kick scooter, like a push scooter.
Yeah, right there. Yeah.
I see it. Is it a trike?
I don't know what it is, but man, remember Mario Kart on the Wii where you would like pull the controller back to do like wheelies?
Oh my
on
gosh,
the
I
bike?
hated that. I hated it. I'm using motion controls. Like, no, get out of here.
I'm
Stop using them.
I hope they still have that as an option. I'm using mouse controls.
I really like how small DK's car looks with him in it. It looks super flat. Like it looks like a lowrider. Like
I know. I usually don't like the bigger guys, although I think people found like a meta where like King Boo, people loved using King Boo
mhm.
in deluxe.
Interesting.
But yeah,
That's crazy. It was so good. And then 2025, like confirmed, it's coming this year. Like, and then we get this plays Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive games as well as Nintendo Switch games. Asterisk. Nintendo Switch 2 plays both physical and digital Nintendo Switch games. Certain Nintendo Switch games may not be supported on or fully compatible with Nintendo Switch 2. Details will be shared on the Nintendo website at a later date. Here's my theory on that, and you wanted to fight me on it.
size difference.
It is massive.
Although that looks like the OG Switch compared to the.
It does. It makes the current Switch look like a light.
Yeah.
But basically what I
Pulling out the
said,
Labo, yeah.
and you were like, I don't know about that, is Nintendo Labo and Ring Fit Adventure, and that's pretty much it. Anything that requires like a peripheral with a regular Switch 1 Joy-Con to go into is going to be a problem. And I think the reason they have the asterisk there, certain Nintendo Switch games may not be supported on or fully compatible with Nintendo Switch 2, basically just means if you want to play Labo and if you want to play Ring Fit Adventure, you're going to have to use Joy-Cons from a Switch 1 and connect it to the system via Bluetooth. But you can still do so.
That screen, fun fact, plot twist, is not a touch screen.
Oh, is that your
no,
opinion? Holy cow,
No,
that's a crazy take. Oh my gosh. I hate that
do
we're back to
think there
bezels
is-
again though, or bezels.
Bezel, yeah, I do not like the bezel.
It's so thick.
I don't like how big it is. Yeah,
No, and I know
And
why it's
you know
there.
when you see it, when that Switch OLED comes out, it's gonna have no bezel.
Yep.
It's gonna look so much nicer. It's gonna be like all white and then either black accents in the back, or it's gonna be some other color, or just all white.
If there was nothing to improve upon, people would not upgrade. So like it's a good consumer. Bad consumer is a consumer mindset. but good for the entrepreneur.
Yeah. You know, you said you saw a number of people talking about how that button, the C button that has no C on it,
Mm-hmm.
is that I have seen a number of people say that they don't think the Switch 2 has IR sensors on the bottom of the Joy-Con.
I think they
And
do.
you say you think they have them on both.
I didn't even get to talk about it because we kind of blazed through that really quickly. Let me get through this screen real fast. I don't think there's anything else to share.
Just the direct and then the experience, which is already probably too late now if you want to get.
Yeah, direct
to
on
sign
April
up for it.
2nd, and the experience they're still doing signups until 23rd.
Okay.
So you have until day after tomorrow, as of recording this, to be able to see that. But I do believe that we're going to have IR sensors on the bottoms of these controllers, and part of the reason why, right here, this is the right Joy-Con, and you can kind of see how that seam lines up to allow for an IR sensor that they have on the right Joy-Con, which we're already kind of used to via this IR sensor that they have on the bottom of the current console. But this seam is reflected in the blue Joy-Con as well. If we get there and they zoom out, you can see that same seam is reflected here, and it does that rounded off portion for the IR sensor.
Yes, exactly.
So
I can see it, but I can also see it not being the IR sensor and just the plastic connecting to the plastic.
there's already a seam there, a divide there for it to connect. You can kind of see that seam going along the screw line, like a straight seam meeting that curve. So there is clearly an insert there on both Joy-Con.
An absolute another reason why I wish they would just give us all this information now.
Give
Like
us the
do a deep
specs.
dive where they talk over it
Mm-hmm.
and be like, this system, you know, like because it didn't even release a spec. Like we got to wait till April 2nd for Nintendo, or April, what is it, 4th?
Mm-hmm.
For Nintendo.
April 2nd.
April 2nd. That's right, because when some people were watching it for the first time, the trailer, the UK one went up first, so they were watching it and they thought February 4th is when the direct was, and then they didn't realize. Oh no!
Oh my gosh! I'm definitely expecting IR sensors, and we'll find out more April 2nd. We'll find out more April 2nd. That's kind of our deep dive, and those are some of our like general opinions. I really like the finish on these controllers that they show on this plastic. It looks super premium. I'm just gonna kind of let this play for a hot minute again. But you know, we talked a little bit about our feelings at the beginning of the episode going into this, and after kind of like watching this again, like there's a lot to be hyped about, right? Like there is actually a lot to be hyped about. And was some of Nintendo's thunder stolen by leakers? Yeah. And I think that's part of the reason why this is a bunch of renders instead of an actual look at the console right now. Like they're like, crap.
So you think this wasn't their original plan and they put this together because of
I
the
think it
leaks,
was
or
in
you
response. I think it was in response. I
so
legitimately do.
You think they would have something else?
I think they
for
probably would have.
before the end of March.
Yeah. I really do think they probably would have. I think they would have waited until the beginning of March, to be able to reveal anything. My hope is that it would be something that would be significantly more in depth than what we got here. But you never know. You never know. I'm just afraid that a portion of this was pretty reactionary. You know.
Yeah.
Okay. I wish it wasn't. It just feels reactionary to like, okay, well, we got to drop something, otherwise every detail is going to be gone, and there's nothing else that we can do. So,
yeah,
it's not a bad thing. It's not.
No.
It's not a judgment.
No, I'm just trying to think of if I agree with that or not, because I feel like can see this being what Nintendo wanted to release, which was just this.
Yeah. Do you think this is exactly what they would want to release?
I don't know if it's exactly what they would want to release, but I could see it being close to it.
That's a take. I don't know that I necessarily disagree with you. Let me be clear. I don't think I would disagree with you, but I think we would have seen a lot more product shots than CG renders if they'd have been given the time to cook just a little bit longer. And that's what leads me to believe that this is a little more reactionary. I think they would have shown the actual console rather than renders. I think we still would have gotten that render, that transformation, because that's like the perfect way to explain the Nintendo Switch to the Nintendo Switch 2 and not have a Wii U moment. Let me be clear. But I think they would have actually shown the real console, actual product shots, not just CG renders of what it is going to look like once it's done, right?
Yeah, because they still haven't released it, right?
No, we have not seen like an actual product. Like we saw the CG, but that's it.
Well, that's why we only have like those low res images of Mario Kart even.
Yep, absolutely. And that's pretty much it. Overall, what release date do you want to guess that we're going to see here?
I think we'll have the Direct on April 2nd. And I think 7 weeks after that, we will get the Switch.
Think it'll be a 7-week cadence after that. What leads you to believe that? So, okay, so that's April, May, June, middle of June?
The end of
middle of April?
The end of May.
Middle of April, May? I can't get my words out. I'm trying to math all of a sudden. I was like, wait, brain not working.
I think it'll be like the last week of May or first week of June. Because when they announced the Switch, when they had that January Direct, or January showcase where they showed off the Switch and the games, that was the Switch came out 7 weeks later. And then when they did the Wii U, when they showed off what games were launching for the Wii U, they gave the release date at that time, and it was 7 weeks later, and the Wii U came out. So I think it'll be 7 weeks after.
I am almost completely out of the basing anything off of what Nintendo's done in the past anymore. Like I don't think we can do that. This is a totally new company in a lot of ways. Like yes, Shigeru Miyamoto is there, but like Furukawa, this is his very first console launch. They don't have their regular PR marketing team where Kit and Krista left right at the 2 years ago at this point from Nintendo right after COVID happened. I think there are a lot of people doing something different at Nintendo, and I don't know if we can expect them to just follow the regular cadence, because we also didn't get that 24-hour heads up tweet saying, hey, look out for this trailer, that they would have done, 6 years ago, 7 years ago. No, at this point, 8 years ago, I don't know. I think we still have a lot of surprise coming. I would be extremely surprised if it waited until May to launch. Part of me is like, August 2nd, go pick up your console 2 weeks from now. Like, that's part of me that's really hopeful for that.
2 weeks?
2 weeks after the software showcase. Part of me is really hopeful for that. Will it happen? Yeah. Who knows? Logistically, I don't know if they can keep that under wraps at all. But it would be really cool if that did happen. And that's what I'm gonna predict.
Sega Saturn?
Yeah.
No.
It's coming out $99.99.
No, that's the Dreamcast.
Oh yeah, my bad. You're right.
They were like, it's out right now.
Yes.
And yeah. Absolutely not. I do not think that. No.
Listen, you can say no. It's okay. That's your opinion, man. My opinion's like 2 weeks after after that showcase.
Yeah. No. I do not think they're gonna announce it or show off the games and then be like, it's coming out in October. I don't think they're going to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think we're waiting until October. I legitimately do not think that we're waiting until October. I think... Oh, no. Poor Mel. I'm going to watch the Direct outside of GameStop at this point. I don't think they're waiting until October. If I were to give it a window, though, I think by end of April at the latest... in my opinion. And then that what is that? Within 3 weeks of that trailer, of that not trailer, of that software showcase. That's what I think of the direct. Shadow dropped. Do the showcase say it's in stores right now? That could never happen in today's day and age. It would already be told. Those stores would be receiving their product 2 weeks in advance and sorting it and trying to store it, and it'd be like, oh, we got these, by the way. You want to come see them?
Yeah. Wario64 would be tweeting it out like a half hour before the direct goes live.
Mm-hmm.
GameStop has it right now. You can go pick it up. They're selling them.
I do have one more thing on the itinerary that I wanted to talk about, and that was Donkey Kong Country HD returns. Sorry for the hard left turn from the Nintendo Switch, but I realized we're like an hour and a half. So, Donkey Kong Country HD returns. Just some quick impressions from it. I got this, played it on Thursday. 4 people played through the entirety of it, almost. I got to the second to last world, and then I had to go and do some other stuff with the people. So I ended up finishing this up on Friday. All in all, a really, really solid experience. I would say, here's the thing, Donkey Kong Country Returns HD, it's good. It's as good as it was on previous consoles, Wii, 3DS. It's actually more closer to the 3DS release than the Wii release because you do get access to the 3DS levels on here. I would honestly give it a solid 8 from a gameplay standpoint alone. I'd argue it's a more consistently designed game than Tropical Freeze from a game design perspective. Honestly, Tropical Freeze has these higher highs, and I like their art direction significantly more. But again, this is a Wii game that's just been kind of ported over to the Switch and late in its life cycle. But Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze does have lower lows than this one does. I had some problems though with some of the level design language. Specifically when it wanted me to interact with stuff in the background compared to the foreground and trying to figure out, I need to hit this cactus to spawn a barrel to jump into the background when I hadn't had to hit a cactus at any point previous to that.
Okay.
And boss designs though, they were not as cool from a design standpoint. They were definitely more consistently good though, and almost rote by the time you get to the end of it. I mean, it's 9 hits and you kill the enemy and it's done every single time. Save for the final boss, which is when they get the surprise factor going in. But all in all, really, really liked it. It's hard for me to recommend this game to people, and I'll tell you exactly why. Is because it's $60. And I don't know that I can say, hey, go spend $60 on a Wii U game, or on a Wii game. My apologies, not even a Wii U game. Go spend $60 on a Wii game, because you could have bought this exact same experience on the 3DS for $40 a few years ago, And that's the frustration for me. I still got a lot to do in this game, but I did roll credits on it. I want to play some multiplayer. I've played it. That was how I played it before. But all in all, 8 out of 10. I'm not even going to get, and I would give it a solid 80 out of 100. I'm not going to go any more minute than that. Echoes of Wisdom, better game. Echoes of Wisdom, better game. Don't waste your $60 on this if you don't have Echoes of Wisdom.
But what if you've never played Donkey Kong Country Returns?
If you've never played it, you don't have a Wii. It's still a $60. It's still a $60 worthwhile game. It just is frustrating that that this game did come out before and they didn't do anything new to it. That's the complaint that I have for it. But if you haven't played it and you want to experience it, this game it's a good game. It's a good game.
Okay, there it is. There we have it. It is a good game. I do like those games. I was listening to Tim Geddes over at Kind of Funny. He said he thinks what's the name of that one? It's like a Donkey Kong.
Country one.
It's kind of
94,
like Donkey Kong
64,
Country. It's no, it's
Jungle Beat, Conga.
no. It's not a Nintendo game. It's some guy. He almost looks like Crash Bandicoot, but it's like a 2D game on the Switch. It came out.
I know the one you're talking about. I cannot remember the one. It's like he's like a cheetah tiger kind of creature, right?
Yeah. What was that?
I can't remember. It's something ridiculous. It's not Ty the Tasmanian Devil. It's a new game.
Nico
DeRico. Yeah, Nico DeRico. Thank you, Remote Play Gaming. He was trying ukulele, which is probably closer to 2D Donkey Kong than anything that Rare's put out lately. So
yeah, Nico DeRico. So he said he thinks Nico DeRico is better than Donkey Kong Country Returns, and close to, if not better than. Well, no, he said it was better than Donkey Kong Country's Returns. And he could see someone making an argument for it being better than
there's no way. There's no way. I would be really surprised. I would be super surprised.
He did say not on the Switch though.
Yeah, Nico DeRico. It got I'm going to use that word again. Lambasted on Switch. Like there were people that did not like that release of it, but they liked it in other places. Oh man. I can't wait till we get the Switch 2 and no one can lambaste the Switch's performance anymore.
Okay, well, no, hold on.
I don't need people glazing the Switch's performance. Like, don't do that.
All right.
Chris is like, all right, well, we're moving on.
We've already talked about glazing.
Why can't we? Why can't I keep saying that? You want to talk about the new games that are coming out this week?
I'll talk about anything else other than you getting glazed. Yeah. So, Ender Magnolia. Bloom in the Mist is the sequel to Ender. I don't remember
Lilies.
the name of the
Ender Lilies.
Ender Lily, yeah. And it's kind of like a 2D Metroidvania sort of game. I guess technically, they're all Metroidvania games are just Metroid likes. But yeah, it is gorgeous, like 2D looking artwork. And the first one I really enjoyed, so if this one is anything like the first one, I'm down for it. And that comes out next week.
Yeah, it is. Well, I mean, it's still within the next 7 days. That one's due out on sale January 22nd. Not even
tomorrow.
Yeah, not even next week. Tomorrow for
$24.99
on sale for $22.49 right now. Early bird price.
It's on sale until. Does it say until the game comes out? Is that what it is?
For some reason, when I loaded this page, it didn't want to tell me sale ends in 10 hours. So if you want to snag it and you're listening to us right now, now's the time to go grab it.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Decently challenging, but not overly, is what Mel says in the live chat.
Yeah. So the game comes out in 10 hours.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
What else we got?
Listen, I'll tell you what else we got. Okay, we got Star Wars Episode 1 Jedi Power Battles. Okay, this is can't remember. Did this come out on PS1? Is that where this first came out?
Dude, I don't know if this is a PS1 game or not. It kind of strikes me as like
it might have been like OG Xbox.
Yeah,
like came out on those systems.
Like it is. PS2. It is definitely a remaster and not a remake by any stretch of the imagination based on these images.
So they're going back. They did Metroid Prime or not
Metroid Prime.
I'm just watching you play that. They did Pod Racer, this company. They did Pod Racer and now they're doing this, and they added 13 playable new characters, which they had. I guess the characters were in the game but didn't get made playable because I think something about the game, like it slowed the game down when you would change characters, and they got it to work with you playing as other characters. But yeah, this is it's out now.
No, it's out on the 23rd.
It's out on the 23rd.
Yeah, you're like, it's out now.
I meant to say it's on sale now for $17.99, as opposed to paying full price at $19.99. And then the last one comes out in exactly 7 days from now. So if in 1 week you're like, I could really go for a new game, one game I would suggest is Tales of Iron 2 Whiskers of Winter. Um, this is a really good game. It it has like kind of like Dark Souls like 2D combat
Mm-hmm.
with artwork that I would say teeters on the line of I hate it and I kind of like it. Um,
You know what it
it
kind of gives me vibes of in some
Hmm.
ways, and I know this might be giving it higher praise than I intend for it to because it's nowhere near the same level, but it reminds me of Darkest Dungeon.
Okay, yeah. With the
Like,
Darkest Dungeon cutscenes, like before.
yeah, like it has all these like super thick comic booky outlines, like a lot of details going on within it, but then at the same time it's kind of got like this flash game aesthetic. But I think that's kind of the aesthetic it's went for, which isn't a bad thing. I don't know. I
Um,
could be wrong on this.
it kind of reminds me of like, remember like those, like they had the kind of um little like figure like characters that you could get, and then they would like stick on your fridge like as magnets, and then you could put like clothes on top of them.
Oh
It,
yes.
it reminds me of that. That's what this art reminds me of.
Yeah.
But the voice acting, it's all narrated by the same guy that does The Witcher. He's the voice of The Witcher.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I see. I've only messed around a little bit in the first one. There's a demo for this one available too, isn't there? I think. Or am I wrong on that? Or
There
maybe
might
it
be.
was for the first one. I can't remember. It's one or the other.
But yeah, this one is really good. I have it. Well, I have it on Steam and Switch, but the performance is good on both.
Yeah, this
Um,
game is built for both in a lot of ways. I think.
yeah,
Not super
it plays
demanding
really well.
graphics.
Oddbug Studio. Yeah, comes out on the 28th.
Mhm.
It is on sale now, $19.99 for the digital version. So it's $19.99, or $24.99 for the full price regularly. It's on sale until the 11th of February. So even after it comes out. And then the deluxe edition is also um, out here. I think the deluxe edition, it comes with the game plus like a pack which has some uh like extra armor, so that you have it. It's like good for
Mhm.
beginners. Like it would be good for beginner. And then it also has different hairstyles and stuff. That's what
An
the deluxe
exclusive
edition
collection of 6 beards and hairstyles to further
Yeah, that's
customize
it.
Arlo's battle readiness.
Yeah, good old Arlo.
Oh man, it's pretty good. I like that. I think that's super funny. I wish people would sell me more beards in video games, just in general.
Yeah.
Oh man, that'd be pretty good. That would be pretty good. But yeah, not a super packed week of new games. There are a lot of new games that are coming out this week. Don't get us
But
wrong.
much better than the end of December. Like
Yeah.
the last month has been terrible, but now we're getting more games.
Yep, we're starting to get
Coming
into
in.
the fray. I'm just looking forward to March. Just looking forward to March. Waiting for Xenoblade Chronicles X HD, whatever they call it, remaster, redone, definitive edition, deluxe, ultra. Like I don't know what they're calling it, but I'm very excited for it. Martin says Nintendo Switch OLED would make so much money if you could design your own faceplates and Joy-Cons. Who else agrees? I would like the opportunity to have like an Xbox Design Labs for the Joy-Cons for sure. That I would really like to do customized Joy-Cons, and I wish they had faceplates. I'm less worried about. Most of the time, I keep a grip on my Switch, or it's in the dock, and I really wouldn't see it all that often. I'm not a big handheld player. I do it from time to time, but I play mostly docked nowadays.
One thing I really enjoyed was the new Nintendo 3DS, the one that had the faceplates that you could take on and off.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a smaller. It wasn't the XL, but it was just a smaller one. They had tons of different faceplates. But I don't think they're ever going to do that again. Like, you know.
Yeah, 3DS was the last time we ever see that
They
again.
won't even give us themes for crying out loud.
No, which we might get that. Who knows? That's the other thing I'm waiting for is the big reveal of what the OS looks like. I want to see what the Switch looks like in action on the screen. Like, it's cool to see the electronic box that does things, but I don't know what it does yet, other than play Mario Kart. So, keep my fingers crossed. But that's our deep dive. That is our deep dive. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys had a good time being able to kick back and relax and get some more details and speculate with us. Chris?
Before we go, I got a question for you.
Ask away.
Okay, so later this week, Microsoft has their developer direct, and they're going to give a date, which I think already got spoiled, for Doom: The Dark Age. Do you think not only Microsoft but other companies, when they start showing their trailers, is it going to say Switch 2 at the end, or are they going to wait for April 2nd?
Do they typically put on those kinds of Xbox showcases? Do they typically put that it's coming to other consoles? I don't think they do, right?
Well, the last showcase or direct that they had, they announced. Oh, and one more thing, and the one more thing for Indiana Jones was that it's coming to PS5 in the spring of 2025. So if they do that and they reveal the Switch,
that makes a little more sense in my opinion, because Bethesda is a Microsoft-owned company, and to state that it's also coming to PS5 was a big deal for them. Whereas, I don't know if third parties are going to do that. I think in-house developers could do that. Like, they could be like, Hi-Fi Rush coming to Nintendo Switch, because they own that property.
they don't own that anymore.
Well, who does? Who owns that now?
I forget, but the company, a company bought them.
That's right. I forgot.
and they got Hi-Fi Rush with it. Yeah.
Well, all I'm saying is April 2nd, everyone should be ready for Silk Song. So everyone be ready for Silk Song to show up.
You got to follow the cake.
Yep.
The cake isn't a lie.
It's not a lie.
The cake is not a lie. Everyone believes the cake. Okay.
Chris, where can they find you?
You can find me looking up more cake recipes, because clearly you just follow the line. You can find me at Super Nintendo. That's pretty much everything. What about you? Where the heck can we find you?
Go to nerdwareplace.com. Links to all my social media garbage, Discord, all that jazz. I'm live 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. over on my channel, twitch.tv/nerdwareplace, where you get to come talk to me live in person instead of just tweeting at me or whatever. Not that I'll respond to that, and definitely don't send me a Discord message. Chris can attest right now. But
yeah, don't even text him.
Don't even bother.
I'll text you back a few days later.
Don't even bother. But you can find me over there. And then also for links to all of the show's social media garbage, there's all that info. I'm gonna pop that on over at the old YouTube channel as well. It's not gonna let me. I'm 74 characters over. Oh well. Looks like you're not joining the Discord, people. That's just what's not happening. I'm gonna take off those. Oh, I'm still 36 over. Never mind. You guys aren't gonna get it. If you want to see it, it's in our description. You can find it over there too.
You gotta create a tiny URL.
Yep. I do. I need a smaller URLs. But remember, you can catch all of our past episodes in video form over on YouTube at youtube.com/the Nintendo Rewind. Visit our website for links to all of our social media pages at nintendorewind.com. And consider supporting the show through memberships on our site, where you'll get bonus content only featured there, not on our YouTube channel. Thank you guys so freaking much for watching. Remember, you can catch us live Tuesdays, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on twitch.tv/Nintendo Rewind or YouTube. We love your faces. Thank you for watching. Remember, be kind. Please rewind. And we'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.